You know, I've been thinking about Wednesday night Bible study that Pastor G bought for. Wednesday night was the setup that God provided concerning marriage and how marriage, because she made it clear we are married to the husband called Christ. And we are the wife. Now, don't y'all get it twisted. I know it could be male, female, all that. You made that clear. I hope I ain't got to go back over that. But for those who won't hear, you know, we ain't talking about no man, no man. The wife is the connection that we have to the husband called Christ. Okay. No matter the sex. And then I began to think about, you know, we being the bride and God being, or Christ being the husband. Having done quite a few marriages and having been in a couple, three. I remember talking to folks about marriage in Ephesians 5. Y'all know that text in Ephesians 5. Yeah, I'll give you something because, you know, I say I ain't had no text. But it's just a setup. You know, Ephesians 5 talks about the role of the husband and the wife. Now, every time I've counseled a married couple, there always seem to be problems around the discussion of Ephesians 5. The man tends to puff his chest out and let his wife-to-be and me know that he agrees with the word of God. He is the head. And then I'm yet to meet in these modern times a wife that would say, yes, I agree with the word of God. I'm going to submit. What they usually say is two things. One is don't put that in the wedding vows. Or if you put it in there, I want you to understand something. And they look at me and they look at the husband and they say, I ain't submitting to foolishness. You might be the head, but if you make a bad decision, I'm not going along with that decision. I hope we don't treat the husband like that. But what I like about the writer of Ephesians, Paul, when he gets to the end of that discussion, Paul says this is a profound mystery. I'm going to put it in my words. He said, I ain't talking about y'all. He said, I just used that as an example about the relationship with me and you. So don't get all caught up, because I know that y'all will change like the wind. I know that the cultural sensitivity of understanding what marriage is will change over time. So let me make it clear, I ain't really talking about you. I'm talking about how this thing looks between me and you. And I thank you, Pastor G, because you confirmed something this morning when you said justified. He says, let me carry you over to Galatians 2 and 16, because unless this relationship has the stamp of approval, unless this relationship is justified through me, it ain't valid. In fact, annul the marriage. If it ain't justified. So Galatians 2 and 16, he said, know that a person is not justified by the works of the law. I know you already ran over to James, didn't you? Come back. But by faith in Jesus Christ. So we too have put our faith in Christ Jesus that we may be justified by faith. Now you say, wait a minute. I thought James said faith without works is dead. He did. He did, but I thought you're not justified by works. Well, hold up. What James is saying is not that your works is going to make you. What you need to understand is that by your works, we know what your relationship with Christ looks like. He said your works is a consequence of your relationship. So yeah. We know by what you do. Now we're not judges. God is the ultimate judge. But I know what I'm looking at. You know what you're looking at. An apple tree is an apple tree. It ain't a peach tree. Justified. What does it mean to be justified? Justified simply means to be made just, to be made right, to be made righteous. That's not man's natural understanding or state. Can I break it down and say by being made in right relationship with Christ? The reason that that's odd to us, the reason that that's strange for us, because we didn't even get it right in the garden. We were already questioning what God had put together. He said, I tried to start this thing off in a way that I needed the relationship to look like. So I started with Adam and Eve, and they were already going head and head. They already knew 2023 was going to be here. It was her fault. She didn't do what I told her to do. It's that woman you gave me. She didn't submit. Oh, we was already putting the blame out there. Yeah. He said, so I have to bring you all the way back since you didn't get it in the beginning, and I got to justify you. I got to correct that right relationship back to me that I initially meant it to be. So how are we justified? I'm so glad you asked. 3 ways how you justify. We justify by grace. We justify by blood. And we justify by faith. I said we justify by grace, thank God. Access granted. Somebody say access granted. Through God's grace, we have access to him. Because God looked at our sins. God, let's make it plain. God looked at our list. Well, that's y'all list. But I looked at my list. And he said, I'm going to correct what was wrong, not because you deserve it, but because I am who I am. And I can do what I want to do. White out. It's by grace we are. Y'all been reading some Bible, ain't you? By grace, we are saved. So that's why now we're justified by his blood. Have you done anything yet? God's grace, Christ's blood, we ain't even participated yet. we 2 out of 3 in. We already on the winning edge, and we ain't even lift a finger. He said, for you to participate, all I need you to do is agree by faith. And we ain't going to go all deep because we were talking about faith a month or so ago. We went all through there about faith. If y'all don't know anything about faith, then I don't know what to tell you. I can't add or take away anything that's already been taught and broke down by faith. Faith without works. Faith is what you see. If you believe it, you got. I ain't scared of roller coasters. Well, get on. Don't talk me to death. I don't have faith in roller coasters if you ain't figured it out. Don't have faith, ain't getting on them. Been fooled on them a couple of times. Yes, sir. I screamed like a little boy. Ah! They took a picture of one of them. Ah! No, 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 no. I ain't scared of no snake. Put one down. I'm gone. Our first church, it was way in the cut. It was way down there in the cut. Your folks used to joke and say, you got to pack a lunch to go to your church. And the office, in the back, you're going by. I was like, look, I'm going to tell y'all now. If you ever want to get rid of me, all you got to do is put a snake in my office. I guarantee you I'm gone. Don't even tell me if you find one and kill it. Because I'll be looking. See, you can't talk Jesus to death, and you sure can't talk each other to death about what you believe. Because if you believe it, we're going to see it. That's our part. That's our part. Justified by what I believe, by faith. So I remember when I first married Jesus. Y'all remember? It was a real brief engagement period. It really was. I mean, I ain't think about it. I ain't get no marriage counseling. I was like, things are going bad out here by myself. And I need to hook up with part 1 and part 2 of you. Because I can't do this thing by myself. He said, meet me at the altar. And I married him. You remember when you got saved? You remember? We married Jesus, not even knowing what kind of man he really was. We hadn't even read and read all about him. It's as if, I know y'all don't do that in the natural, I'm just saying, but it's as if in that brief time of dating him, the only thing we really knew was his name. We knew what others had said about him, but we did not know him. You said, oh, wait a minute, you judging me. No. Oh, so you read the Bible cover to cover before you decided to get saved. Huh? You was all in. You knew everything about you. You examined him. You went into some type of counseling. You found out all about him. And then you say, I guess I'll marry him. No. I'm yet to meet someone who connects with Jesus because they were having a great day. It's a good day to get saved. I think I'll go get saved. No, we were going through. Jesus was the last option. I need to tell you, he might have been your first and second. He was my last option. When all hell broke loose and nobody else would answer the door, I said, let me try Jesus. That's why I'm married. I'm wearing my spouse's name today. Because we like that. But don't take it by my mouth. Take it by what I do. Oh. Yeah. But the thing about it is, shortly into the marriage, I started cheating on him. I committed adultery. I started putting other gods before him. I know y'all ain't never did that. The job became a god. The career became a god. Making that money became a god. Working them double shifts became a god. I just missed this Sunday. There was other things that car became a job. And God forbid if that woman became, watch out now. Can I be real about it? The reason some of us ain't married today because we can't even serve him single. He said, I can't give you nobody because there's going to be a distraction. Oh, my goodness. Excuse me while I look in the mirror. Was that the ouch? Oh, I'm sorry. It said, look at everything that you put before me. I'm trying to marry you off. I'm trying to connect with you, but you keep cheating on me with all your exes. I'm not talking about right when I first got saved. Even along the way, every once in a while, I slip an ex back. Oh, my God. What the fella said is tight, but it's right. Oh, my God. The grass really wasn't green on the other side. It looked like it from far away. It looked like it was a nice lawn. But as I got closer, I began to see the potholes, and I began to see the water holes. And I'm like, this grass ain't as good as I thought it looked. It never was able to fulfill me the way Jesus is able to fulfill me. Oh, my God, the ultimate spouse. But then when I got that cheating under control, he said, well, it's good you're not putting no other God before me, but you still ain't spending no time with me. I mean, you ain't hanging out, but the boys always over. You got stuff always going on. The game's always on. The girlfriends drop by. And you call it girls' night out now. You ain't got no time for me. You done got kids in the mix, and you're helping them, and I just ain't got no time no more. Summer done came, and you ain't going to Bible study no more. I just ain't got no time. It ain't enough hours in a day. I was thinking the other day, and I said, I wonder how it would look if I tithe my time to God. You mean like 2.4 hours a day? Oh, my God. Ooh, I wonder how that would look. 2.4? Some of us are just making the point 4. Not the 2. That's a whole lot of time. I mean, I work 8 hours. I sleep, 6 hours. That's 4. I ain't got but 10. My TV show coming on tonight. I got to help the boy with the homework. And, honey gonna needs a little time with me. And I got to cook. I got to eat. I ain't got no time left. I wonder what would happen if God said, I ain't got no more time left for you. I ain't got time to bless you. I like that. I like that teaching on blessing. That just redefined everything about blessing. Everything I would call it a blessing ain't even a blessing. Some of us thought because they let us drive off the lot with a car, I've been blessed. No, that anybody can get a car. You can have a 450 score and get a car. And so it is. You just don't have to put $5,000 down and have a 22% interest. But you can get it. Ain't no blessing. You push your way into that. You were upside down when you rode on the lot. But all of a sudden, God blessed me. He blessed you so much you got to work 3 jobs now to make the payment. And oh, my God. I ain't talking about nobody. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. Now you can't even tithe no more. God understand I got to make that payment. Oh, my Lord. Y'all got quiet on that one. Maybe that was the wrong example. Whew. Don't throw nothing at me. He said, you done cheated on me? I'm almost done. I ain't got much longer. You done cheated on me? You ain't giving me my time? But now you done made the worst offense that you could ever make with Jesus. We done married him, and we ain't even consummated the marriage. Say it like that for the young folk. We ain't even consummated the marriage. In fact, we running from the bedroom. We got a headache every night. God is crying. I see you going to church. I see you singing in the praise team. I see you playing the, I see you ushering. I see you cleaning up. I see all the stuff that you're doing. I see all them works. But we ain't never laid together. Consummation don't take place just on Sunday morning. You could be just as holy as you want to be. You can fool me, I can fool you. I can run around the church 3 times, and you like, yeah, the Spirit done hit him today. In them 2.4 hours I was here, don't count them. Them ain't bedroom time. That ain't bedroom time. He said, I see you fell out. I see you screamed. I see you holler. I see you cry. But that's when you were spending time with them. What happened when you were spending time with me? Oh, my God. He said, I know you understand the assignment, but you didn't complete the assignment. We haven't had that secret place kind of time. We haven't had that time when it was just me and you. We haven't had that uninterrupted time where it's just us. You need to understand, if you don't get nothing in today's message or in the series of everything that we're talking about, understand that God wants his time. His time. His time. It's just like in the natural. It ain't about what you're buying. It ain't about because you're a provider. You take care of the bills. None of that means nothing if you don't have time. Little kid told his dad, he said, Daddy, how much you make an hour? Daddy said, ain't none of your business. We ain't talking about all that. No, Daddy, how much you make an hour? Son, that ain't none of your business. Really, I just need to know how much you make. I won't ask you. He said, okay, $100 an hour. He said, okay. He went to his room. He come back. He said, Dad. He said, what is that? He said, it's $100. Can I have an hour of your time? I wonder what God has to do to get our time. Sometimes he has to stop everything. You're like, why did God allow this to happen to me? He was only trying to get your attention. He was trying to get your time. I know what I'm talking about. You know, God put a mandate on my life, but I didn't have enough time to fulfill it. He said, okay, Rick, I ain't going to kill you. I just want you to stay still. I want you to reevaluate everything that I have planned for your life. I want you to take a step back. I want you to look at it. And I want you to decide, are you walking in my purpose? Because I've been told you some things to do, but you keep putting them on the shelf. He said, in this time, we're going to get a whole curriculum out of you. In this time, we're going to get an application for a license out of you. In this time, you're going to make the hardest decision in your life. You're going to walk away from your church because it's not fulfilling the purpose that I've set you out for. He said, in this time. And I went into it saying, good God, how did he allow that T-bone on both sides of my car? But yet my grandson walked away without a scratch. Well, he got a little scratch from climbing out the window. Nothing happened. When I woke up and they pinching me, I'm like, why are y'all pinching me? Come to find out, they thought I was paralyzed. It was just a hair from the worst happening. I mean, it could have been death. It could have been paralyzed. It could have been. But God said, I knew when that truck touched you, I already knew the outcome. They were scared. I was assured. I needed your faith to step up. See, I don't mind telling on me. Pastor Mike, tell on you. Some of you are sitting there already judging me, trying to think about me, trying to put my scenario in your scenario. No, don't let it be a wreck for you. He will, one way or another. Why? Because I decided to answer to that third leg and said, I do. I decided to marry him. Did not I ask for his name in marriage? And now I want to go back and cheat on him and take my time away from him and not consummate it? He said, oh, no, you ain't going to marry me and act like a fool. You ain't going to carry my name and act like a fool. I remember my parents used to tell me growing up, I go and act up. I know it's hard to imagine me acting up. I would go and act up, and Daddy would say something like, boy, you better stop shaming the Baker name. And, of course, I mumble as I walk up, shaming nobody. Ain't nobody did nothing but me. What they got to do with you? Ain't nobody looking at you. Of course, none of that was intelligible in his ears. What you say? Nothing. But now I understand what he was saying. He was saying, you are not going to go out here as a representation of this household who taught you better and act like a fool. God said, you're not going to come down that aisle and marry me and go out here talking about I love Jesus and acting like a fool. I didn't save you because I ain't had nothing to do that day. I saved you because I had purpose attached to your name. I knew you while yet you was in the belly of your mother's womb. I saved you for a reason. It's some of your folks, some of your people, I let die. I let go on. I let go on about. And some in fight, I had to move some of them to get your attention. Oh, Lord, I'm all up in this living room now. Let me be quiet. But you need to understand, because you said I do. I never forget in that jail cell, I said, Lord, if you get me out of this one. Because I had said it many times. I know y'all ain't never said that, right? Y'all ain't never said, Lord, if you get me out of this one. Y'all ain't never said that, right? But Lord, if you get me out of this one. And he wouldn't get me out. Now, get me out because he knew I wasn't serious. But this time he knew that even though I didn't understand who I was marrying, he knew the sincerity of my heart. He said, I think that boy mean that thing this time. But do he know what he's asking for? It ain't the question of whether I can get you out. The question is, can you hold up your end of the bargain? I give you everything I got, God. If you get me out of this, and be careful what you say. Lord, I tell you, if you just allow me, God, I know that I made a mistake this time. Lord, I know I said yes in the natural, and I should have said no. God, I know I shouldn't have took that second job. Lord, I know I shouldn't have tied or held back my time. Lord, I know I didn't give you my time. But if you give me another chance, be careful what you ask for. Because he hears you. I give you everything I got. Stand on your feet. Tell him, Lord, you know I cheated on you. Somebody ain't want to say that. That didn't sound right coming from your mouth, didn't it? Yeah. I didn't mean to, God, but I put other gods before you.